Hey yo, this is Ezequielized Odyssey, and I'm here to talk about Tupac Shakur. Similar songs. When they're talking about the similar songs to Tupac, when they look like they're identical, it can be any one of that can be more pre-verse. So here's the scoop: what I'm talking about. I Get Around with Tupac was similar to Ezequielized Odyssey's Bands on Fleek. However, the beat is still look the same, but it's just very crooked. From the lyrics, because there was a lot going on with this fishy stuff, but it seems cool, but nothing wise. They have like a good legitimate entertainment, but it's bigger when they come out with the bigger shit. It's not that bad. And then Tupac, I Just Don't Give a Fuck from Tupacalypse. That was the one that they didn't talk about that shit. And Odyssey, Fuck Your Mother means like that's something that you don't give a fuck. It's kind of weird because, when you hear about Obama, when you hear about the police and the police brutality, you know, everything is still the same. Everything is still the same figure. Tupac would have been alive if he could have proposed Black Lives Matter in 2010. And that would have been better if they would have take it. Because some people, they're pretty scared about the communication. That's why they were here. That's why. Tupac Keep Your Head Up is similar to Ezequielized Odyssey's Love Is Wandering. I've been using the Michael Jackson beat before, but it looks like it's all about the women, but they care about the women. But love is more consideration. But it's not that bad when they come out on all the good love raps. But everything is still good, but however, if it's still identical, it can be a little bit weird though. That's all I can say. And then it is Amazon's The Rider from All Eyes on Me from Tupac. It has the same song to the song called Ezequielized Odyssey, Ezequielized World. Well, this is kind of really weird because I never seen that detail that comes in. But it's pretty cool. But everything is not that bad, but it's all the rank that they did for the music. But it's not that bad. Tupac made a lot of great music when he sold 1 million copies. That's when before he got up famous and for All Eyes on Me back in '96. But still, Ezequielized World is always the most debate song that I've ever seen that come out from Tupac. And that is what it is. And also, Tupac California Love is similar to Ezequielized Odyssey's My Nintendo and Star Wars because of the pop figures. Pop figures is still the number one debut. Tupac did make California Love famous with Dr. Dre in 1995. But they recorded it first before they record the rest from the Death Row records. But it's pretty cool. But however, it some look the same, but it's just all pop figures. So this is the Craig show, but it's cool. But it's not that bad when they use it though. Ezequielized Odyssey's Work It Out is similar to Tupac's Life Goes On. It's cool. When people talk about disasters, there was something happening about like all those humiliating people they didn't think about the charts. It was worse when I see that happen before, and I didn't see that happen before. But it was really sad when people have earthquakes and then the cities they have like tornadoes, wildfires together. Pretty crazy though. It happens though. I'm Mad at You with Tupac is similar to Odyssey's Mad at You when it came out with the different type of the melody. Well, it was a common melody. It came out 2017 when it came out on the City album, but it's not that bad. But most of the music they do have similar in this one. So, it's still the same. The same page where I debate. It's like LeBron and Michael Jordan. I'm like, holy shit, this is kind of like a big figure for me, because I have a bigger influence to Tupac. That's why. Okay, the next one is Tupac, Only God Can Judge Me, is similar to Ezequielized Odysseys God's Gift. Well, it's pretty weird when they have some of the similar old beats when they talk about God. It's still always like in the Christian level, but Tupac made some in histories for this shit. But it's nothing that hard. But however, as people wanted to talk about the same old page, they can do this. You know, every music is similar, but I can see like Ezequielized Odyssey musics. They put the rhythm all the way, and that's how they can rap to it. And that's how the lyrics they get caught up in, and that's why. And here's another popular song from Ezequielized Odyssey called Ezequielized Odyssey. It's similar to Ballad of the Dead Soldier. That's not that bad, but the curious thing about the when they make the music, it's still obviously, it's obvious, but the beats is kind of like ranky, but it's still good, but nothing that they paged up. That it's kind of like very similar when they do. I have the same rhythm that they have, but it's not that bad when they come up with the good ways. And there's so many good ones out there. Well, you guys can see Bad Boys is similar to Tupac Violent. I've been hearing this since 2006. That's the only song that I just recorded from the SimCity 4 shit. But this is kind of like the beat that they come in the recon for the old songs. But it's still debut to tell. And there's more songs they had to be. But here, I'm going to see you the page where it looks like. Okay, so do you see how much I understand? Hope you understand about the songs, but it's kind of weird because most of the mini songs they're like 20, 30, or 40 songs. 40 similar songs for Ezequielized Odyssey have the same debut to Tupac because there's so many rhythms they come out with the best ones. Nobody else is gonna be a better genuine for those fucking lyrics because they're just art. Especially for two of America's Most Wanted, Gangsta Party, it's same to Odyssey, Spank That Monkey. But however, most of the music, it's just they came in the ranks so fast. Not just like 50 Cent or Young Berg or L Cool J, but some musics there just seems they're pretty ranked up. But I'm different to the West Coast stars because I'm just a small business guy, but however, I can make music whenever I have to. But it's kind of different because, they don't have... Well, I've been dropping, like, few albums straight for the studio albums. Since 2010 to 2014. I've been with a recording label with Eduardo Lalo, but he was been there for a while. He knows about Tupac. The art is still crazy. But, however... None of the main musics, they can just do it all day. That's why they just drop the shit up. Especially for Catching Feelings with Tupac, with Stop, Drop, and Roll, Letters to the President, similar to Odyssey I. It seems really bigger when it comes to the rememberation. It's pretty much like news shit. But, it's cool when they come out like all those good slings that they can keep up. But it's called the pop culture. Nothing going to claim to see that. But it's completely different because, the lyrics is different than every music is always the similar way. But Kid Fashion remind me of Michael Jackson or Bad Bunny. Most of the always music, they can just do that. Sano the Indian, he could be like one of the biggest stars that he looks similar to the Atmosphere. Sano the Indian is the next Atmosphere because the music is so big out there. You know what I mean? But, however, most of the music, they're just good. They keep ranking up so fast. That's why they got it so much bigger. And that's why we just need to look at everything what they have. Yeah. So, and then Ezequielized Odyssey, I Love You is similar to Tupac's Unconditional Love. That song has been there since 2011. But, however, they released it from the soundtrack, but it's pretty cool when they come out some good slow music. But nothing to bother about the music. Let me show you again. Okay, here's the scoop. If you get the music that they have the musical taste, it kings like if you match the lyrics. But if you matched it to something that looks the same, every music's in the plot from Tupac, he's more different. Because none of these same artists they could rank up, like DMX. DMX, he could be the next Tupac, but he wasn't in the bestsellers, but Eminem is. Because Eminem, when after Tupac died, Eminem took his spot. He's the one that he can make all the grateful music that he can put in so far. Because he's the king of hip-hop. But I thought Tupac was the king of hip-hop. People mention it since the 90s. But it's weird when they have like all the identical music they looked at it so far. And after that, after Eminem passed by, Eminem got me a torch to become the king of hip-hop. That's why they had to do something greater. And that's why. Well, I guess that's it for Tupac similarities. So we'll keep up the scoop for later for the next step for Ezequielized Odyssey's music. So I'll keep going soon. So this is Ezequielized Odyssey. Keep it icy, keep it real.